And welcome back, everyone, to another episode of I'm not sure what to call this show right now. Because if you've been following me on Instagram, I said I'm going to be changing the channel name from Perspective and Pokemon to probably Perspective and Collecting, Perspective and Collect. I don't know, Perspective and something. But welcome back to another episode. It's been actually a little while since I've had anyone on the channel, and I am super excited to have Omaash back. He's back. We got him back on the show. Had to pay him $2,000. I'm just kidding. No, I did not pay him
Yeah,
anything.
I'm expensive now.
Yeah. Back in the day when he only had 1 year on YouTube, he's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do a podcast." Now that he has 2, he's like, "Dude, you gotta pay me now."
Dude, things get crazy in the YouTube space.
Right? But real quick, Omaash. I mean, I think my audience already knows who you are, but for anyone who does not, can you give a brief intro of who you are?
Yeah, just real quick, I'm Omaash, leader of the Omaash Nation. That was like the nerdiest thing I've ever said, probably. Real name is Alex, and I'm just a PokeTuber on YouTube, except I'm not sure you can just call me a PokeTuber now because I've gotten into so many different TCGs and I'm doing a bunch more grading than like actual Pokemon openings. I'm just a content creator that really likes Pokemon and nerdy things. How about that?
I love that, and we're actually gonna get into a little bit more of the TCGs we've gotten into recently. But
Yes.
also, that's also kind of, like, the same sentiment of why I'm changing the channel name, because I love
Mhm.
Pokemon. I think that's always gonna be, like, the top tier, like, on my mind.
Right.
But there's just so many fun TCGs, collectibles, like, it's so hard not to, like, love so many of these things that just keep coming out.
Oh my gosh. It's pretty much impossible not to at least mess around with everything. But then you start to get addicted and then your wallet starts to cry a little more. It's just a chain of bad but fun times.
For sure, for sure. Like, I remember I was doing, gosh, almost like daily videos, pack opening videos,
Oh man.
like, a year ago, and I'm like, "Yeah, we can't do that no more."
It's just it's not sustainable. Like I mean, obviously Leonhardt's making a lot of money from YouTube, but I've had no idea how he just does his big vintage openings like every single day. Like it's
Mhm.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it helps when he probably bought a lot of the product, like, 5, 6 years
Oh yeah,
ago.
for sure.
But anyway, actually, let's go into the TCG stuff real quick. We're going to skip around on some of the questions.
Cool.
So, what has been some of the TCGs that you've been getting into lately?
So a lot of people don't know this because I haven't posted anything about it. But MetaZoo is kind of creeping in on my life, and I still don't know if I am okay with it or if I'm not okay with it. But
Dude, I've been paying attention because I've been watching your stories, and so
yes.
I know I'm very observant. I notice when even just like a one post, I'm like, oh, okay.
No, I was gonna post a Nightfall box break on the channel, but then I just kind of decided I don't want to record it for my very first time opening the TCG, and I was just itching to open stuff. So just a few days ago, I just cracked it myself, and it was actually really fun. And um, I think I'm gonna go for a complete binder of the two sets that have been out. Still don't know if I'm going to make content on it, but I'm on the lookout for a Krypton Nation booster box, and we'll see what the binders look like and how it feels. But it's exciting to get into new stuff because Pokemon, it's pretty much just the same thing every single set, right? You obviously get different cards, different chases, whatever. But for the most part, it just feels the exact same every time you open it. And so it was cool opening this MetaZoo for me and getting into like, well, what is MetaZoo? Like, what are they bringing on to the stage? And like, what do they believe in? What are they kind of showcasing and all that, good stuff.
Mhm.
And it was just something new, and so it was exciting. And so opening the packs, it was actually really fun. And yeah, I don't know. So MetaZoo is kind of my still trapped in the closet TCG, but I've obviously everyone knows I'm into DBS big time. It's like my favorite anime, and the cards are absolutely insane. I love it. Digimon as well. The sets are coming out every few months, and I'm picking up every single set, having a fun time with that. Um, but then, other than MetaZoo, Weiss Schwartz, which is a name you cannot say fast. I, I have to say it like that every time, where it just does not come out. I'm digging Weiss. Like the cards that they are producing and the amount of potential that they have, because they're basically just a card or a TCG that uh, prints out different animes, right? And so if you're an anime fan, they probably either have a set for the anime that you like, or an anime they're going to come out with a set for, X anime. And so it's just like the funnest thing.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot more Weiss shorts. Yeah, you got to say this
See?
slowly. Just like around with like 23K Poke Shop,
Yes.
Alex. Oh my gosh, I forget his last name, but
Alex Hodges, Alex catch
Hodges.
him on
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah. Just other people, getting into that. I'm like, if I think if I actually watched the animes, because I don't watch too
Mhm.
many. I don't watch too much of anything. I don't have time
No
for anything.
time.
But I mean, the cards look so cool.
Oh, they are amazing. And I'm not going like hard into Weiss. Like with Seven Deadly Sins, it's a newer set that came out, and I have seen the anime and I really like it. So I did buy a few boxes of that. But for the most part, I'm just buying like the top chase cards of the few animes that I've actually seen. So like Attack on Titan is one of them, and then Mob Psycho. Um, and for anyone who doesn't know, the top cards for most of the Weiss Schwartz cards sets are SPs, special rares. And they always have like a stamped autograph or signature or something on the cards, and they look amazing. And they're insanely rare at the same time. So it's been fun to try and get all the SPs of my favorite animes. And I'm just thankful I haven't seen a lot of the other animes that they have done, because they are very pricey.
That's awesome. So I haven't watched the video yet, but I know you put out a video I think today about a Pop One card.
Yes,
Is
I
is
have
that
it
a
right
Weiss?
here.
Is that a Weiss Schwartz
It is a
card?
Weiss. I actually just looked today, and it's now Pop 2, so I'm not as cool. But it is right here. Attack on Titan, Mikasa. Whoa, glare. Weiss Schwartz SP
Very
PSA
nice.
10. Such a cool card. Oh, so beautiful.
That's awesome. Well, dude, even Pop 2, I mean, that's still pretty rare.
Yeah. I feel good about it. But yeah,
Yeah.
they grade super well too most of the time, and so it's been fun.
Real quick, I need to make a one quick pause. I hear my daughter like try and get inside the door. So, dude, you've been on YouTube now for a little over 2 years now,
Whew. Insane.
which is oh my I think every single time you put that question on your YouTube, like what's your favorite Omosh memory?
Uh-huh.
Every single time it will be your very first video
Man, I
and
just
like
need
the
to delete
bloopers.
that.
Because dude, it's so authentic of like just seeing you like just like the wheels turning, like who's gonna watch this? Like what the heck am I doing? I just love it.
No, it's I still remember it like it was yesterday. Like I cannot believe it's been 2 years. COVID has messed up time and space. But yeah, 2 years, it's crazy. And like I said, I remember recording that right here just like it was yesterday. It literally took me over an hour to record that little 10-minute video. It was crazy. It was
Dude,
just
I
awkward.
love that story though.
No, yeah, I mean, everyone goes through it, right? Who tries to start content creating. It's
So
classic.
so question then. So what has been your biggest surprise? The biggest surprise you've had on your channel during your second year on YouTube?
Oh man. I think biggest surprise. Well, YouTube likes to throw random stuff at you every now and then. For example, I felt like for the first whole year, it was pretty consistent growth. Like every day or every week, you'd get your few subs, and I felt like it was consistent. But then this second year, just out of nowhere, like YouTube kind of, I don't know what happened exactly, but I'm assuming YouTube decided to put my videos out in front of people a little more, like just kind of showing the channel, and so more people got eyes on it. And there was just this crazy period of really fast growth, like a few thousand in a couple months. Whereas I think by the time I hit a year, I was just at 1,000. And so I can't remember the exact timelines, but it was like slower but steady, the same growth for a year. And then it lasted for a few more months. And I think we hit 2,000. But then after that 2,000 video, it was like, boom, 5,000 out of nowhere. I'm like, whoa, what is going on here? And so YouTube likes to do these weird roller coasters like that. Because like now I'm back to, maybe getting a few subscribers a day every week. Like it's definitely a little more slow. And so it's like, what the heck's going on? Like, the
Uh-huh.
mind games that go with the YouTube and content creation and everything, it's absolutely insane. So
So,
that was, oh yeah.
no, so well, I'm curious though. So during this time where you're having like this huge like growth over the 1,000 new people like come in over
Uh-huh.
a few weeks, like what's going through your mind as a content creator? Like what's going through your mind?
Well, since the beginning, I've always wondered, like, when is that like big blow up, right? Like, is it an X amount of time on YouTube? Is it like a certain subscriber count? Like, when is that time where a channel just kind of takes off? And so when it first started, I was like, oh, this is my moment. This is the time. Like, it's actually happening. It's been a year, we've been monetized. We've hit 2,000 subscribers. Like, this must be it. But then it lasted for a little while and then it just slowed down. I'm like, oh man, maybe maybe that was just some random little splurt of, I don't even know what it was. But that was what was kind of going through my head, just like, wow, it's actually happening kind of thing. um but then obviously it slowed down. It's like, okay. I'm not one to get my hopes up with like anything, just because I'm generally a more like realistic, logical kind of person. Um, so when it was happening, I was like, wow, this is absolutely crazy. Like, if this keeps up, that would be insane. But then when it started to slow back down, I was like, oh yeah, typical.
That's dude, that's still so awesome to think about. Like, even just what I've loved is just every now and again, I'll just check to see certain things, and one things I check on is like, oh, I wonder what Omaash is at, like subscriber counts,
Hmm.
and it is so cool because again, I mean I think I subscribed to your channel when you were at like 900 subs somewhere around
Yeah.
there, and it's just so cool to see like that growth. And I mean I've said this before, but I think you have like a very good personality for YouTube. You have a very good just aura about you, spirit about you, whatever you want to call it. And so it does
Appreciate
not
that.
surprise me that you just continue to grow.
No, yeah, it's uh, people always laugh. I might have shared this last time we talked, but I'm a shy guy. Like, I am not an extrovert at all. But people see my YouTube videos and like kind of hang out with me or whatever, and when they hear that from me, they're like, "What? You are not shy at all." Um, so I appreciate that. Like, it takes a lot to kind of bring out my personality, I guess. Like, I'm just more naturally closed off kind of person. So it has been fun getting this little community behind me, the Omaash Nation, and getting to know some people and seeing that growth. Like, it's insane. Just like, most content creators say it, but I literally didn't think I would ever get to 100 subscribers. Like,
Huh.
you saw my first video. So the fact that the channel is growing and we're still doing it 2 years later, it's pretty crazy. Pretty awesome, but crazy.
So speaking of growth though, so how would you say you've grown like as a person or as a content creator, like during these last 2 years?
Man, that's a good question. Um, I think I think now, after 2 years of content creating, I've always been kind of more laid back guy anyway, and I've never really let things affect me. But as I'm sure you know, uh, the internet is cruel. Like, it is a mean place. And so on the early stages, it's like you get one nasty comment or 10 nasty comments, and it really affects you. It's just like, what the heck? Like, how are people so mean? What am I doing wrong? Oh, maybe I should quit because this is like hard to handle, right? Whereas now you kind of realize that, haters are just there to hate and they're never not going to be there. So kind of shift that focus, even though it's so hard, to all of the people who are supporting you and loving you and showing, that they like your content and interacting with you. Just kind of a mindset change. Whereas, because it's always easy to find the negative in everything, right? But YouTube has definitely helped me switch that to kind of ignore the negative. Like, who cares about the haters? But just focus on and go after the positive, the good. Yeah, I think that's how I've personally grown quite a bit.
I love that. And yeah, because definitely a lot of people come out the woodworks when you start making content, and especially when YouTube starts showing those videos to more people.
Hmm.
Because I there are plenty. Well, okay, I need to have a conversation. I need to have this conversation with my sister who just started a YouTube channel.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, go subscribe to her MB Vlogs, something like that.
Shout out MB Vlogs.
Yes, but uh, what's so interesting and what I've come to learn for myself, and both for myself and also just having the science background of hanging out with doctors and psychologists and whatnot, is that it's so interesting to me that mm, genuinely happy people will never leave a negative comment.
Hmm.
Someone who is genuinely happy will never say, "You're stupid, you suck, this video is stupid." Like, even if they disagree with you.
Hmm.
And so knowing that, it's been interesting how, like, for myself, because I've gotten plenty of negative whatever stuff, even though I'm not as, my channel isn't as big as yours or whatever. Like, it just happens. Anytime you
Oh,
put
yeah.
yourself out there. And it's been interesting being able to switch that. I guess when that happens, being able to have empathy toward that
Hmm.
person, because you have to understand that if someone is leaving, like, someone is taking the time to grab their phone or whatever and say, this is crap or whatever, like, that person is in like a bad mental place.
Yeah.
Like, for all like, that person just lost their job and they happen to see something they don't agree with. And so they're like, oh, life sucks. Like, look at this Omaash guy. What's he doing with like people who do that are not, they are not in a good place mentally. They are
Mhm.
suffering inside, they're hurting inside, and so they lash out.
Yeah.
And I think that's something important to remember for any content creator, that, like, I think it can be easy for us to, and I mean, you see this too, like, content creators get hate and then they lash back.
Yeah.
When I think the opposite is you need to do. You don't need to lash back. You need to show more empathy and compassion because that person is suffering inside. Like, it's almost like trying to kick someone when they're down. Like, that's
Yeah.
actually what's happening. Like, you have to understand, like, yeah, just that empathy and compassion, man. Like, that's what turns those negative comments into like an experience to just grow, and
Mhm.
sometimes even turns those haters into fans. Like, it's been so, and sorry, I'm kind of passionate about this, as you can kind of tell,
Oh, yeah.
but it's been so interesting how I've had, negative stuff on my Instagram or TikTok or wherever,
Mhm.
but then not lashing back, but understanding, okay, this person is hurting inside. Let me actually have a conversation with them.
Mhm.
Like, 9 times out of 10, that turns into an actual good dialogue, and that person becomes a friend, or at least we leave with no hurt feelings.
Right. No, and that's awesome because it is so hard not to lash back. Like, they hurt your feelings, and so it's just natural of us to be like, "Oh, well, here's what I think of that," right? My
Uh-huh.
favorites are the ones who comment something rude, so you can still see it because you get the notification and the email, but then they delete the comment so you can't reply. Like, I laugh every single time. I'm like, come on, like, be a little more manly, I guess. I don't know. Um, but yeah,
Maybe they rethought their ways.
maybe, but I still saw it, and so it still sucked.
But yeah, definitely though, like, those, I think those moments are opportunities to just have compassion, grow yourself. And also, and this is actually my favorite, oh man, I don't know if I'm just just kind of weird. Just the more that I get to know more people, the more I realize that I kind of do things other people don't.
Uh-huh.
But I actually kind of like those moments, and especially those moments where I suddenly like because where I get hurt. Like I'm like, why did that person say that?
Mhm.
I oddly get kind of excited when that happens because it's a switch in my head. I'm like, oh, okay, if I'm getting hurt, that means that there's something inside of me that's like insecure about what they said, and so I can work on myself. And so, thank you, person, because now you show me something inside of me that I can now work on.
Wow, that's deep.
This is why we call this perspective, and collectibles or collecting, or
Perspective in good times. How about
perspective in
that?
good times.
No, that's awesome. Because yeah, I mean, none of us are perfect, and so there's always more to work on or try and improve. Change if needed, adapt.
Mhm.
Um, and so, yeah, sometimes it does take that mean comment to kind of, take your step back and be like, you know what, maybe I can change with that, or whatever it is.
Yeah, like at the very least, understanding how you react to it is a good
Mhm.
indication of where you are mentally as well.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I think we talked about that long enough. Moving on to the next question. So, if you don't mind sharing, and maybe this goes along kind of with what we were talking about, but what has been the biggest struggle for you as a content creator?
So lately, as a content creator, it's hard not to focus on the numbers. It's just always there and always on your mind. Like, it's impossible not to, because that's kind of the goal, right? No one really. Hopefully, you're starting your create content creation because you enjoy whatever you're doing. But no one starts it with the goal of, I'm not gonna grow, or I'm not gonna try to grow. And so the numbers are always there. But I think lately it's been more of time management.
Mhm,
It is I mean, I'm usually good with staying organized because I'm naturally more organized person. But with so many things on my plate when it comes to my full-time job, my family, middleman stuff, YouTube, and then other things that happen. Like right now, we're kind of trying to build the start up an Airbnb, and so like more things just get added to the plate, and so there's more stress to get it all done and stay on top of everything. um, that has been definitely the most challenging part. Especially, we kind of talked about it off camera, but just, hey, my kid is asleep, I finally have time to do
mhm,
something. Oh, but maybe I should spend some time with my wife. And just stuff like that. It's hard to manage, and recently that's kind of been the biggest struggle. It's just, how do I stay on top of everything while making everything else work and other people happy? It's a hard thing to do, but you just kind of have to try your best and have good communication.
mhm.
Because yeah.
For sure, man. And I think also just if I can add just my 2 cents on that, because I'm in a similar boat where I'm
Mhm.
trying to create content. I got my family business. I got my other little side business. I got other projects I'm working on. Like, then obviously my wife, my children, trying to exercise, eat
Oh
well,
man,
get enough sleep.
don't bring up the exercising.
And so I think I think part of it is that like you said, you do your best,
Mhm.
and you just don't judge yourself when you do drop something, and
Yeah.
you just adjust because yesterday, or was it yesterday? I don't remember days anymore.
Time doesn't
But
exist
like,
anymore.
some days I put in like 10 hours of work, into my family business.
Mhm.
Some days I'm putting 8, some days I'm putting 7, but it's just trying to be able to juggle everything so that I, can have time for my kids. That I
Mhm.
do. I think it's honestly like a daily thing. Like what is most important today?
Right. I mean, it's always changing. Like, just like me, and I have things that I need to get done. I have things I want to get done. I have things going on in my mind, in my personal life, whatever you want to say. But on the flip side, my wife is also going through all this stuff. And it's my job to be there for her and for whatever she is going through. And some days, she might not need anything. She'll be completely fine. But then another day, it's like she didn't sleep at all. And so she needs a lot more help. Just every single day is so different in every single one of our lives. And so there's never a set way to do things when it comes to management of your time and your daily tasks, because even though you might be doing the same stuff every day, you're not really doing the same stuff every day.
Uh-huh. 100%. And, it's funny because where my mind also goes with this, going back to empathy and compassion from earlier, I think, that's also another reason why we always need to be empathetic and compassionate to other people. Because,
Mhm.
that person who maybe is kind of acting like a jerk at the store or wherever, they might have a lot on their plate.
Yeah.
They might be, running a business and their wife is sick and their kids, need, his time or whatever. And so, like, you never know what someone's going through. Like, someone might see you just through YouTube and be like, "Oh, look at him. He just makes YouTube videos all day." When
Yeah.
that's not the case.
No, yeah. I feel like more and more I have kind of responded somewhere in a comment of, well, if you actually knew me, then, you know, because people do just assume and judge with whatever the case is that they're talking about. And it's just like, you're not correct.
Yeah, like, we never, like, never have context on someone else's life.
No, yeah, never.
Like, even my wife, the person who I know the most, I know her, like, better than anyone else. I know her probably better than her mom does
Uh huh.
at this point. I don't have full context on her life because I don't know every single thought that she has. I don't
Right.
know every single detail from her childhood. I don't know what maybe internal insecurity she might still have. And
Hmm.
so we never have full context on people. And so, like, how could we possibly, like, even try to judge someone else?
No, yeah. It's insane. Just marriage counseling 101, guys. What you might think is correct or common sense or whatever the case, it's probably not for your significant other. And so you have to communicate and just be open, because just like you just said, it's completely different and we don't know the context ever.
100%. So we're going to go into some rapid fire questions, and then I have probably the last question. Well, might be kind of more of a heavier, not heavier one, but maybe a little more thought provoking, if you will.
Nice.
Okay, so rapid fire questions. What's your favorite set that you've opened up this year? Any TCG?
Any TCG? Oh man, I had a really fun time with Evolving Skies, just
Mm.
because every single booster box I opened, I had an alternate art.
Oh man, dude, that is a cool set. I've only opened up one booster box of it,
Uh-huh.
and it was a weird booster box. It was missing like 60% of the reverse hollows.
What? Dude, there
Yeah.
were a bunch of errors with that set. It's crazy. But sneak peek, I know this is rapid fire. Next Tuesday's video, Fusion Strike, insane error box. Like it was so fun to open. Anyway.
Dude, looking forward to it. So, what are one or two of your current collecting goals?
Oh gosh. I have so many. It's stupid. So the one that is going to take me probably years is my Gold Star collection. I did just recently get a Groudon Gold Star, which adds to my current collection, but I still need 8 more, and they are the 8 that are the rarest and most expensive. So that is a forever task. And then on the Weiss side, I'm just trying to get all of the SP rare cards of Mob Psycho now at this point. I have Attack on Titan and Seven Deadly Sins. So Mob Psycho is my last one.
Nice, man. So, do you prefer a winter or summer?
Oh, winter. Easy. I hate sweating and I love cold.
Oh, you're in the right place then.
Yeah.
When do you think is the appropriate time to start listening to Christmas music?
Oh, freak. See, I love Christmas music, but I also give everyone a hard time for listening to it too soon and putting up all their decorations. Black Friday, day
Black
after,
Friday.
yeah, day after Thanksgiving, we're good.
Nice. As a side note, and my wife normally doesn't do this, but last week, like it was like November 3rd or 4th or something like that.
Uh-huh.
She was listening to Michael Bublé Christmas music and wrapping presents. I'm like I'm not like I have no problem with it, but this is kind of weird.
Dude, we have already bought some Christmas presents too, just because it's going to be a crazy season with COVID and all this stuff. Shipping's going to be a nightmare.
Oh gosh,
So you have to order stuff now if you want to get stuff for Christmas.
for sure, man. What's your goal or a goal, if you have any, for the channel over the next 12 months?
So I'm going to try my best, but I had a 2021 goal of trying to get to 10K on the channel. And we are at 8K right now with a month and a half left. So it's looking like we're not going to hit that goal. So I would love to get to 10K because I feel like that is just a solid number that I've always just kind of wanted to hit and I've worked hard for. So 10K for the channel sometime in the next 12 months. Another thing, I've kind of announced, not officially, that I probably won't be opening stuff to as often, just because it's pretty obvious that people don't really care to just watch pack openings, just going off numbers, right? And so I'm trying to incorporate more with the middleman service. So doing a lot more test submissions and adding different or new companies to the service, and doing more comparison and informational videos when it comes to grading. I want to tap into that a lot more than just kind of just revealing graded cards, right? So hopefully I can do that well this next year. And who knows, maybe eventually I'll get into the live stuff, but live is just so hard for me.
That's cool, man. Though with the submission stuff, that's actually really, I think. Well, like you said, the numbers show that that's some of your most viewed stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's also really smart because it's something you were already going to do.
Yeah. No, it's the reveal videos will always be there just because everyone loves seeing their cards on YouTube. And as long as I'm doing the middleman service, I'll always be getting subs back. So yeah, hopefully people like it.
Yeah. Well, I think they're fun videos.
Thank you. Glad you like it.
So, what's your favorite channel with a Latino host that also talks about perspective?
Well, I think the only person I know is Ulysses, the owner or starter, the boss of Perspective and some other term he has not decided.
You guys heard it here first. This is Omaash's favorite channel that meets that criteria.
Yes.
Okay, last question, last on a more serious note.
Hmm.
So, when all is said and done, how do you hope to be remembered? Whether as a person or as a collector or in the hobby, either you can take it either way you want.
Um, I think I'll answer a little bit for both sides, because I've always been one who just cares about being kind, right? Always be respectful and be kind to everyone, no matter what. And part of that is just being a good friend. Like, I love making friends and I love being friends with other people. It's just the best part of life for me. Um, I was actually talking with my wife randomly last night, just like, do you ever miss dating? And she's like, what do you mean? And I was like, no, not like, you know, I guess not dating so much, but just being able to take that step of asking a girl or a guy. Well, guys usually ask out, right? Um, Asking, I'll talk for me, asking a girl out, taking that first step that you're so nervous about, and then just getting to know them, asking them questions, having those. fundamental conversations of, just getting to know someone. Like, I really miss that. Not that I'm not saying I don't want to
No,
go back to
I
being
got you.
unmarried or any of that stuff, but it's just so fun getting to know people. Um, and so I think if people just remind me or think of me as being that kind, that friend that you could always count on, done. Goal, goal has been met. Because I really care about that. And then I'm kind of proud on the Pokemon or collecting side that uh I mean, I don't know if people say things behind my back, obviously, or whatever, but I feel strongly that I'm not part of a lot of the drama that's happening pretty frequently in the community. I'm just the guy who's there to have fun, make friends, and enjoy the hobby. And so, if anyone ever remembers me in 20 years, that'd be insane for one. But hopefully, it's just a good memory of, Mosh was a pretty cool, chill guy who just loved Pokemon and, whatever else TCG.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how you mentioned kindness, because I think that was kind of a theme of
Mhm.
last time when we talked, was
Yeah.
just how I think you just, well, I guess kind of what I was saying earlier, that good spirit about you, it's a kind spirit. It's a like, let me turn on an Omash video because it's just a good vibe.
If you don't get annoyed with my fake laugh, then yeah, hopefully it's a good time.
Which, as a quick side note, um, I know you had mentioned this before, like in a video, but going along with like you like being a friend to others, I think if you wanted to, you
Mhm.
do you, it's your life. But if you wanted to, like, I think you would make a good like host to like do a podcast, do a show, interviewing other people in the hobby or whatever it is that you do. Because you do
Yes.
have just that chill vibe. And I think one of the things I've loved about doing this kind of show is that if I see someone, I'm like, oh, I want to get to know that person better. Let me bring
Mhm.
them on for 30 minutes or whatever. Like that I just love that, being able to connect with and get to know people better. And then, happen to put it up on YouTube and whatever, but just making friends that way has been a good experience.
Yeah, no, I seriously wanted to start something this year. But then I also have this part of me that's like, oh, well, I don't want to copy other people. Like, people mention, hey, you should do like a guess that grade. And I'm like, well, that's Leonhardt's thing. So I'm not going to do that. And, so many people have started podcasts this year just because it is something that a lot of people like and enjoy. Um, and so naturally, I'm just like, I don't want to copy Ulysses. I don't want to copy TCG Funhouse. I don't want to copy Pokenav because it's kind of their thing. Um, but no, I know I would have a blast with it just because I enjoy getting to know people. And I would want to ask questions about their life more so than like Pokemon or collecting. Because it's something we all share and, enjoy. But I want to know more about the people, not just about what they think about Charizard coming out in Shining Star or whatever it's called.
Uh-huh. No, and I get that too, because I mean that I don't even know how much like TCG stuff we actually talked about today, but
Not much.
honestly, like, again, this is just my 2 cents. Do with it what you will. But I think, and whatever you want to call it, like I'm just gonna say the Omaash podcast,
Uh huh.
like, it would still be different because it's you.
Yeah.
Like, there is no show like that because you're not currently making one.
No, I do get that. I do get that. That is deep perspective right there. But yeah, maybe it'll happen again. It's more of a time thing,
Yeah,
right?
and I understand that too.
Yeah, but no, I know it'd be fun, and maybe it'd be a good thing to start up. But yeah, I need to figure it all out first.
Yeah, again, just my 2 cents. You do you, man.
No, appreciate it.
But that is all we have for today, everyone. Again, thank you so much, Omash, for being on the show. And real quick, where can they find you? on social media?
Oh, Omaash everywhere. The only place that it's not just Omaash because it was already taken is Twitter. And so I recently just changed it because it used to be Omaash 4. I don't know why 4, but now it's Omaash Nation on Twitter. But that is it. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. Omaash is everywhere.
Yes, he is. So go follow this guy. Honestly, I can say this from at least from my own experience. Super genuine, super kind guy. You're not going to regret following him on social media or watching his videos and subscribing to that channel. Help him get to 10K.
Yes, 10K before December 31st.
Yes, I'll go make 2,000 more Google accounts real quick and
Yes, well, I'll take it.
all right, man. Thanks again for being on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, she's going to say hi real quick.
Hello. What?
Do
Are
you
you the
recognize her?
Vulpix fan?
No.
Yeah.
I am a Vulpix queen.
Oh, yes, the Vulpix Queen. I just got a pretty cool Vulpix card that you might not
Ooh.
have and that your dad might need to get you because it's very nice.
Nice. We are collecting every Vulpix card, so we will have to get that.
Yes.
Okay, Goose, I'm going to finish the video, okay?
Okay, do you have ghosts on your shirt? No, your sweater?
Yeah. These are little Pac-Man ghosts. And then this guy's going to go and eat them. It's part of the game.
Bye.
See ya.